Let's talk some ball, shall we?
Hell yeah.
The film guy.
It's ball season,
The film
baby.
guy is with us. Brooks Austin back on the program.
There he is. Look at him. He knows it's ball season.
Good to see you, brother. How are things?
Hey, I was just asking the producer after this, the talent fee for this paid appearance, is it getting direct deposited or y'all going to send that to the house or how's that operate?
Do you take traveler's checks? That's how we usually do business. You good with that?
I think I'll just take the platform in exchange.
Yeah, there
you know
you
what
go.
I mean?
That's
I'll
right.
come on here, introduce myself to the OutKick folks. Maybe they end up on my place. You can save the money for this paid appearance.
No, we'd love to come to your place anytime.
We visit your spot.
But we also take traveler's checks since we're doing the paid appearances now.
Yeah. Hey, so in terms of just top 100 talent for the NFL draft, what are we looking at on the field when we watch Texas Ohio State? Like, not a specific number, but I mean, it'll shatter what anyone would assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, just for example, Arch Manning, everyone knows, will probably be the first quarterback taken off the board whenever he comes into the draft, which I think is going to be 2027, not 2026. Anthony Hill will probably be the first linebacker taken off the board, the Texas linebacker. Caleb Downs will 100% be the number one safety taken off the board, probably a top 5 to top 6 overall selection. NFL teams are going to draft him because he's going to make everyone else around him better, not just how uniquely talented he is. Colin Simmons has an opportunity to be the first edge rusher taken off the board. I think he's going to get dinged by the NFL draft process a little bit due to height and weight. Only about 6'2 1/4, maybe 6'3", 230 pounds. He's not a 6'5", 265-pound defensive end that's normally drafted in that top 10 range, but he's ultimately going to be a first-round draft pick. And everybody knows about Jeremiah Smith. He'll be the number one wide receiver taken off the board whenever he's available for a draft process. So, yeah, I mean, from a elite level blue chip status, talent level prospects, I mean, that game is loaded, man. There's a plethora of them.
And we went through all those players, and I didn't hear the name Ty Simpson. What do you know about the Bama quarterback?
I mean, I know he's a coach's son, right? I know he's a coach's son, so I assumed he's going to be a really good processor. I think what a lot of people forget about him from his high school dates, like, that was I don't do the dual threat thing. Like, I think everyone has to be a good athlete at the position nowadays. You can't be immobile. You're going to get, if you're standing in one spot, you're going to get lit up all 4 quarters.
When did that go away? When did that go away, Brooks?
When
Flacco?
guys like Aaron Donald started being, it was a defensive reaction, right? When defensive linemen, particularly defensive tackles and edge rushers, really started to become refined in their skill sets, refined in getting home after the passer. We had to start being able to create an ability to deny that, right? Hey, a 3 technique just beat our guard. Right now, we got to be twitchy enough and athletic enough to make that guy miss. Like, honestly, Brady had to develop this as a professional. The last 10, 12 years of his career, obviously we knew he was a limited athlete, but he had to be twitchy and quick and hey, here he comes now. Boom, let's make one little subtle movement to get around. I think it's really been the last 15 to 20 years of football where these D tackles specifically have become savants at getting home.
It's a great point.
So I'm watching Nebraska-Cincinnati last night, Brooks, and they had a combined 67 pass attempts for a combined 312 yards in that game.
Yeah.
And Raiola was 33 for 42, but only 242 yards. And I'm watching him, and there's just something that's not clicking. With every time it feels like, all right, here's the big moment. It's close in the second half. Let's pull away. Let's make some big plays. He had a nice pass to go up 10 in the fourth quarter on a 4th down play that was a big play. But what's missing? Is it the offense? Is it Raiola? I just don't know what Nebraska is still. I know it's one game, and they got the close win in that one, which Husker fans love seeing. But what is missing specifically with Dylan Raiola?
So I want to start with the offensive structure at first, and then we'll talk about Raiola because I do think there are some mechanical things that are a problem there. But speaking of Nebraska's offense, they have what I call, the last 2 years, they've had an NAD offense, not a dude, meaning they don't have a single dude on the outside that creates any type of problem or any type of threat. They went out in the portal and got Dane Key out of Kentucky, and he's supposed to be this threat. He's supposed to be this downfield, can actually create some type of vertical offense for these guys. And it wasn't there last night. That's problem number one. They have an NAD offense. Not too many dudes on the outside. Not too many weapons. You can see this in their man versus zone success rates, right? When teams run man-to-man against them, they're cooked. They can't get open. When teams play zone against them, they find voids and vacancies in the defense. That's all based off the quarterback's processing ability in terms of winning against zone coverage. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, they can't protect this guy. I watched last night. They're in 7-man pass protection. They got 5 offensive linemen, 1 tight end, and a running back trying to block 5 defenders from Cincy, and can't do it. He's getting sacked. So what does that mean? We got 7 guys plus the quarterback trying to do everything we can to get the ball off here. That means we only have 3 guys in the route. They're rushing 5 and dropping 6. Guys, they got 3 more defensive backs to cover your only 3 options and still sacking your butt. So what we going to do about that as an offensive coordinator? I don't know. We got to get better in terms of a protection unit. Now, let's talk about Raiola. For this 5-star, super talented, elite thrower of the football, I see mechanical problems. I see a really, really long delivery. Like, we're dipping below the belly button. We're bringing it around the clock, and then we're letting it loose. That's first and foremost. That's bad. We got to get rid of that. Not only that, we hold the ball below our chest. We hold the ball below our pec. That's not ideal in terms of football mechanics. We want to be tight and delivery and quick, right? We want to get rid of that football in less than 0.3 seconds once we decide we're going to do it. He's way more elongated than that, first and foremost. The other thing about him, and it's very related to like Quinn Ewers, who ironically they have the same quarterback trainer. This dude's a lobber of the football, man. It bugs me. I want to see you rip footballs when they need to be ripped. Right? There are 3 types of throws. There's a 1 ball, which is a line drive. There is a 2 ball, which is a layered football. There is a 3 ball, which is that deep arcing deep ball. He has no 2 ball. He has no 1 ball right now. He does not show the ability to drive the football.
I would call it the piss missile.
Yeah, he needs to add that to the arsenal.
We call that around here. Yeah, he needs to. And look, he's got it. I mean, he is an elite, talented, like a really good, powerful thrower of the football. He just doesn't rip it when he needs to rip it. And he's a smart guy. Yeah, basically. Yeah, like honest to God, man, like when there's a tight window, yes, we need to hit you in the back of the helmet. And if you don't turn around, that's on you.
Yeah, that's on the other dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big game tonight on Fox. You said the NAD offense, not a dude. That's not how I describe Auburn on the outside. They got 2 dudes for sure, maybe 3. Are those dudes good enough to make Jackson Arnold good in this Auburn offense? Because, Brooks, as you know, it was a struggle at Oklahoma for Arnold.
It was definitely a struggle at Oklahoma for Arnold, and I think it has an opportunity to be a struggle here. You mentioned it. The weapons are elite, right? Auburn, I think, has one of the best wide receiver units, probably the best wide receiver unit in the SEC, second in the sport behind only Ohio State, which is like a perennial number 1 as long as Hartline is there. But, man, I think this is a Hugh Freeze thing, and it'll be interesting to see if it happens again this year. I don't know if I've given you guys this stat, but Hugh Freeze has coached 13 seasons of college football. His teams have turned it over 25-plus times, 8 of those 13 seasons. Just to let you know, Nick Saban had 0 of those. Kirby Smarts have 0 of those. Ryan Day had 0 of those, but they run the football. Lincoln Riley's had 0 of those. This guy's offense has turned the football over because he is dependent and reliant upon the RPO. Okay, I promise you, because it's already happened. How many times have you heard Hugh Freeze come to a microphone and express some type of sentiment of, well, I called the right play. My quarterback just crapped the bed out there.
We got to stop turning the ball over. I can't help that.
Right? I call great plays today. My quarterback sucks. That's the sentiment. But in reality, he might call a play. But that play is an RPO with 4, 5, 6, 7 different options off of it. And if the defense lies to me at all, I can make the wrong decision, and then my coach is throwing me under the bus in postgame. So I do not expect this to be some magical fix because you guys went out and got Jackson Arnold. The other thing about this, guys, I have some buddies at Oklahoma that let me know, like, hey, this was a guy we had to kind of pump up with sunshine and give him a bunch of good energy because he was kind of a Debbie Downer in and of his own self. The self-confidence was waning last year. We about to go make this guy play for Hugh Freeze? Hugh Freeze does nothing but kill his quarterbacks in front of a microphone. So I don't know how this is going to work, but my mind tells me unless the receivers just save everything, that you're going to have the same type of offensive turnover rate that you always do, because this is what this guy does. He turns it over.
There's going to be another 5-star playing quarterback there is what's going to happen.
Now, that's my other thing about Auburn. Like, no matter what happens, like if they lose this weekend and they're going 2-4, the first 6 games of that schedule are brutal, especially if you lose to Baylor. Like, I'm not giving you at Oklahoma if you lose to Baylor. I'm not saying you're going to beat A&M if you lose to Baylor. I damn sure ain't picking you to beat Georgia if you lose to Baylor. Okay, but here's the deal. They can't fire that guy. No matter how bad it gets this year, I don't think they can fire that guy because Deuce Knight becomes a free agent. All right, all those 5 stars and 4 stars, high-quality talent you signed in 2023 and 2024, it's open season, Bubba. They're all gone. They're all going to opposing teams, too, because there's no you can't transfer within the SEC if your coach gets fired rule, right? Like, you have to ride this out, and that's the scariest thing about this to me out there at Auburn.
So the flip side of that Hugh Freeze offense and the turnover problem is the Josh Heupel offense, which doesn't allow for a lot of turnovers the way it's structured. A lot of penalties with how fast they operate in that offense, procedural, but not as many turnovers. You've got Joel Klatt and others around college football and the NFL. This has become a very popular thing. Josh Heupel can't develop pro skill position players on offense, quarterback, receiver, because of the style of the offense. What's your reaction to that, Brooks?
It is not Josh Heupel's job to make sure Jalen Hyatt is a dude on Sundays. Josh Heupel is paid $8.5 million to win 10 games a season, which he's done the last 3 years at a football program that averaged 7.5 wins the last 2 decades. What are we doing? Why are we sitting here criticizing because you think it's gimmicky? Like, his job is to beat Alabama. His job is to beat Georgia. His job is to win as many games in this conference as he humanly possibly can. And I don't know about you guys, but I've studied the last 20 years of recruiting player acquisition strategies in this sport. And Tennessee ain't recruiting in the top 5. They are not. Every single time they go play Georgia, every single time they go play Alabama, every single time they play Ohio State or Texas, over the next 10 years, as long as those programs look like they currently do, they will be out-talented. There is no doubt about that. If you want to argue with me, that's fine. But those are the facts of this sport. They're going to recruit in the 11 to 12 range, 8 to 12 range. There is a difference when we're talking about teams that recruit in that top 5 range. All right. So if you're going to be at a talent discrepancy, what best you have? You better have a schematical advantage. To me, that's what Tennessee has. That's what Josh Heupel has provided. Guys, they lead the conference every single year or are in the top 3 in rushing yards. They run the football. They had a top 10 defense last year. They run the football and they play defense in the Southeastern Conference. They're going to win football games. Like the whole idea of whether or not they have the right football coach because Jalen Hyatt stinks on Sunday, get out of here, man. That's not his job.
All right, so for the sake of time, I've got 2 quarterbacks in mind. You get to pick the one that I asked you the question about, Sellers or Beck.
Beck, let's go. I've hyped Sellers up enough.
I'm glad you chose this.
Yep.
I've hyped Sellers up enough.
I'm a black and white guy. You're either in or you're out with me. And while I want to give teams time to develop around the college football season, Carson Beck, for where he was in 2024, going in where he would have been the number 1 pick and all this discussion, and he goes back and he sucks last year and all this. We know the stat lines. Now he's at Miami. If this dude needs to play like a convict against the Catholics. I don't know if he's got it in him.
Time to shiv someone.
But if he sucks in this game, he's dead to me. This is one of those games where he's got to show up and show out to me. Will the real Carson Beck quarterback please stand up and ball out? Because I didn't see it last year.
I've always said, I think Carson Beck there's one of 2 quarterbacks, right? There's playmakers and there's facilitators. Right? Playmakers are like Cam Ward. No, if everything falls apart around me, there's still an opportunity that I might hit you with an explosive or I might do something crazy. I might pitch it to the tight end who's supposed to be he's a playmaker. Okay. Carson Beck is a facilitator. All right. He's a point guard. If everything around him is working really, really good, if he's got Brock Bowers, if he's got Ladd McConkey, if he's got a really, really good offensive line, he's going to complete 73% of his balls and lead the nation in 3rd down conversion rate. That's what he did in 2023. They led the nation in drops last year. He had 12 interceptions and completed 68% of his balls. Okay, so and that's fine. We could be a facilitator. Kirk Cousins made damn near $200 million being a facilitator. That's what he is. I think he is that. So when you ask me about Miami, when you ask me about this matchup, when you ask me about the start of the season, first and foremost, he just started building rapport with his football team in July because we had this elbow injury, right? So we really just started practicing. With those 15 practices in the spring, We didn't get none of those. All right. So we didn't develop any of that. We have no idea how our guys get in and out of breaks. We have no idea the pacing of guys. We're not fully comfortable at that rate. The other thing about this matchup, I know what Notre Dame's going to do. You know what Notre Dame's going to do if you've watched Notre Dame football. They're going to line up and play man-to-man, cover one robber. They're going to make you beat them. All right. So that's my other concern about Miami. Like, guys, they got 5 or 6 Division I wide receivers. They're an injury away from having to play true freshmen at pivotal positions, again, with a quarterback who is a facilitator. All right, so those are my main questions, comments, and concerns. I'm with you, though. If Carson Beck goes out and plays like a high-level brand of football, if Shannon Dawson can create him into that, if they can have any type of season relative to Cam Ward's last year, first and foremost, give Shannon Dawson $6 million, get him to the NFL tomorrow. Secondly, go ahead and draft Carson Beck in the first round because all the questions have been answered.
Yeah, I want to see which version.
Yeah.
Which leader shows up.
And the Shannon Dawson piece in this is huge with what they did offensively. They're averaging 44 points per game damn near a year ago in that offense and led the country in yards with Cam Ward. Can they just plug and play now with Carson Beck and what he should be from a talent standpoint? I'm with you, Brooks. It'll say a hell of a lot about Shannon Dawson, too, if he's able to rehabilitate Carson Beck in that situation.
Brooks, always good to see you, man.
No doubt, boys. I appreciate you for having me. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, bring the energy next time.
You got us fired up. We're ready to go.
There he is.
Football is here.
We'll see y'all.
The film guy.
Traveler's Check
check
is
out
in
the
the
great
mail,
channel
too.
there. Yeah, always great to catch up with him. We're
going to give him the money in his Swiss bank account, his offshore account.
Yeah, we'll send it there. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, like he bet through the Cayman Islands, but we have to give him his money through Switzerland.
Coming up, we have wrong team favored. We also have our college football playoff predictions, our national championship. We will declare who the title holder will be and the Heisman winner. You can go ahead and write it down. It's next here on Hot Mic.
This fall, you're not just watching the biggest game in college football.
You're at the game.
Bama versus Georgia.
September 27th, Athens.
OutKick's giving one lucky fan and a guest a VIP treatment
This is your shot.
to punch your ticket to the college football weekend of a lifetime.
Flights covered.
Hotel covered.
Game tickets, of course.
We're also hooking up 10 more fans with OutKick hats, and everyone who enters gets a discount to the OutKick shop.
No purchase necessary.
Just hit outkick.com/sweepstakes.
College football weekend of a lifetime. Outkick.com/sweepstakes.